Hello and welcome back to the Hue No Sequence Breaks speedrun tutorial. In the last video we went over the pink and red segments. In this one we will be going over the blue and yellow segments. Now if you haven't watched the first two videos in this series, I recommend you go and watch them because I will be referring to techniques that I explained in those videos. Now, as soon as you've collected this red color fragment, you want to be going back and grabbing your map storage again, and not immediately deleting it like that. That's better. Just put it in your credits for safekeeping, and you are going down through this red wall here.
Once a seed has taken root, it
Now
doesn't take
this
long for it
room
to grow,
is
to nurture and blossom into something
not
beautiful.
really anything to talk about.
The seed of
You
knowledge was
literally just
planted in
hold
my
left the
mind,
entire time.
and I wasn't prepared to let it wilt and die. The
Yeah,
university
so
claimed my
I will take
experiments
this
were
opportunity to
unethical,
explain a little
that
bit about
altering the
this next
fabric
bit.
of our reality
There's
was dangerous.
actually
They were
two
unflinching.
different ways you can
My research was
do these
confiscated and
first
my
three
contract
rooms,
terminated. Following my
depending
expulsion, I
on
was left with no
how
choice but to uproot and
confident
move
you
us
are
both
with
far away.
certain
I knew of a
air
small
jump
fishing
that I
village
will
boat ride from the
explain.
university where I
Basically, the
hoped
difference
my
boils down
reputation wouldn't
to
precede me.
where you like
You and I
which
moved into a humble
whether
home
you skip the
adjacent
first room or the
near where you
third
spent
room
most of your childhood.
with your menu storage. So in this first room, to do it without using the menu storage here, so saving your menu storage for later, it's faster to do this one with the menu storage as long as you can do the third room faster, which I will explain once I get to that room. But the way to do this without using it is you push that down there and you just want to put it on there, switch to blue, push the red one over, jump up here and just push that down and then push it across. We're just leaving things like just sitting on the pressure plates because there's no use pushing it further than you need to. It's just using up time at that point. And then you just get to the end there. I can't actually restart level like this, can I? I'll just need to go through the door. To go through the door quickly, it's basically the same thing. If you're doing this, you'll want to already be on the pause screen instead of the credit screen when you're like press your escape to get back to this as you're finishing up the corridor. Get your go back menu up and restart. Then it's fairly simple. You just do that, push it, jump up here, double right, enter, and you're through. This room actually, this room is simple enough. You basically just want to be jumping up here. Then you can scooty here, and if you scooty correctly, I chose the wrong color, but you can actually skip a gate if you choose a color apparently other than aqua. Yeah, so yeah, it's a color other than aqua that you need to choose. So the scooty will just let you slide. Well, sometimes it lets you slide straight through there, and then you just jump across the end like that. Without the scooty, you can still go through, but you need to time your run up towards the gate so that you just breeze under it as it opens, but don't bonk your head on it. Because if you just run up against it and then wait for it to open, you won't quite make it, but you can just make it if you are already at full speed as you pass through it. But it's a little bit harder of a timing. The reason you wouldn't have use goodies is if you're saving the map storage for this room. This room is called Pressure Pad Slide. It is probably the most likely room to kill your run in the entire game. If you're trying to do it optimally, which is without the menu storage. So for that, I'm going to demonstrate the menu storage first. So just do our little trick to get it open. So you come in, you get to your pause, you get your go back up, and you restart, and then it's fairly simple. You just jump up there and go through. Note also that you don't actually need to be on the correct color for the door either. It can go through doors which are faced out when you're using the go back menu to force yourself through them. But I'll just re-enter the room here. The harder way to do it involves a very precise air jump called a spike jump to grab the key here without having to go around. So what you want to do is you want to drag this yellow box over here, then you want to come up to here, you want to open, and you want to air jump at the last second before you hit the spikes. This one is really just a case of practice it. The only real visual guide that there is it's more or less when the inside of the bottom of your color wheel, it keeps moving when I try and point at it, but there, when that touches the base of the spikes is approximately when you want to jump. Will vary a little bit, and this is one of the tricks that becomes harder when you have VSync on. So once again, VSync's just the thing in the video options there. So all you want to do is drag this over, and you want to do your air jump with the very precise timing. I'm probably going to fail this a few times, so I'll just cut to an example of me actually hitting it. Right, that is what successfully doing it looks like. It looks like you make it out with a lot of margin, but there is not as much margin as there seems. I also used another little trick to do with the air jump, which is that you can actually, if you reopen the color wheel quick enough afterwards, you can actually do that little flash, which allows you to cancel your sideways momentum, or even if you're holding the other direction, change it. Doing it, however, does use up some of your coyote frames that are stored, which does mean you need to be releasing for as little time possible, and it does make it a little bit harder to hit the timing at the end. From memory, there's 0.1 of a second that you have of coyote time. Yeah. So, yeah, you can just do that little change, and it lets you. Doesn't really matter too much. It I just do it on that one because that's how I learned to do it. This room you want to run sideways, um, drop this aqua skull on top of you and switch to purple. Then you want to jump up here, run over to this skull, switch back to aqua, drag this purple box over. You can drag it all the way here if you want, but you can actually manage to jump up with it not pushed as far. It's a minor time save, but that's worth noting. Then you want to arrange this one so it sits on top of the swamp's head, like that. You want to drop back down through this one. And what you want to do is you want to set this swamp off, and the purple box will drop down with it. And you want to switch to purple. Then once the swamp starts going up, you want to switch to aqua. Now, this head is going to go, but if you are doing it fast, you can actually get through without the swamp falling on you. So to do it again at full speed, run over, trip the blue. I shouldn't have changed aqua so early, but anyway, drag this over, grab the key, set that up, and dive. Hopefully that purple box falls, yep. And you can, like I said, push it over without actually making the swamp drop again. In this room, you want to run right immediately, drop the swamp down, switch to any color except red. You want to jump up here and jump push that down, land on this side. And now what you want to do is you want to push this just far enough to trigger the swamp, and then switch to red, and you want to just hold. I don't know why that didn't work. That's right, I turned VSync on to demonstrate the. It shouldn't actually have an effect on this level, actually. I just remembered that I needed to turn it back off. But I'll restart. You want to drop it, switch to anything that's not red, jump up here, push that box down, and push it so it just triggers that, switch to red, and run left constantly, and you can just make it through. Quite often if you don't make it through, just switching to something other than red isn't enough to trigger the swamp again, so you will need to run all the way back. But it's not hard once you get used to where you need to let go. It did actually trigger off that one. Yeah. Most of the time it won't actually trigger again if you switch out of red. This one, you want to start on the right here, and then as it's going up, you want to jump to trigger the next one just a fraction earlier. So you're just climbing up the swamps. Not anything really complicated going on here. And of course you can jump straight off that purple one onto the ladder there, and you'll go through the door here. Now this level, there's two variations of the same strategy. I'll show the more simple one first. So what you want to do is you want to drop down here, jump up here, trigger this orange one so it falls down, drop that one and go around here, then jump up behind this one, change it to red. You want to push this blue crate across, but you actually want to leave it there and just run down and drop back down through this purple one here. Now once they're all fallen down, you want to stay on purple until this last one starts going up, at which point you want to switch to aqua, then back to purple, and that drops the crate straight through. And you will need to do a little swivel to the side so the crate doesn't fall on top of your head. But be careful not to swivel too quickly, otherwise this swamp here will crush you. So you just slot it into place and you go through the door. Um, Now, for the faster strategy through this room, you want to be starting on orange. This strategy only really gets you to the crate faster, the rest is the same. Trip this guy, and you want to jump off the edge of that one. Then you want to jump up and use the color change there. Then you want to trip that one, being careful not to get the one next to it. And then you should jump off this one the same way you jumped off the bottom one. I just missed it because I was talking. Then it's the same from there. You just red, drag this one across, and you're dropping down like that. That one actually saves a lot more time than it looks like it does. Not something like you need, but it does save time. Here, once again, we get to look into Dr. Gray's eyes, have a bit of a staring contest, wait for him to move his ass. Then we grab blue. Now this time we actually do get to Scooty down the other side because we will not have menu storage at this point. So once again, it's just hold the direction, jump, color wheel, pause, pause. You got to make sure your color wheel is following the jump quick enough, otherwise you'll just end up doing the fast color wheel, which is running on the ground and doesn't actually make you go any faster.
I spent hours poring over them, searching
Just
for clues
ladders
to support
here
my research.
and remembering
Aside
the
from their wonders,
different
one thing stood
paths
out
to
above
go.
all else. Blue. Or specifically the absence of it.
Nothing
Other
fancy in
colours
here.
were detailed at length, but not blue. It was never mentioned at all. The word simply didn't exist.
And to the
Could they
door
not
at the end.
distinguish blue? Without the
For
word to
this
describe
room,
it,
it's fairly simple. You
couldn't
just
be
want to
sure they could see it at
jump
all.
across, bunny hop up the ladder, purple, aqua, red. Now, if you place this perfectly like that, you can actually make it so you can grab it later like that. But most of the time, it's not worth bothering because there's a chance it'll just be slower. I mean, it's good to go for, but like it's not going to lose you a significant amount of time if you don't get it. You drop down here, and you want to just bunny hop across like that. Now on the way back, you can actually make that last jump. Then you want to just go back, grab this box. Because I put it nicely, I can just grab it like that. If you don't, you just go to orange, go through and grab it. And then you're at the door. For this room, you want to just start by jumping across, grabbing these, jumping, and you want to just go up on here, jump across here, turn to orange, just drag that crate across, and you can just jump across the exit like that. Not too much happening there, really just optimal pathing through the room to get the key, the gate unlocked and to the door. This room's fairly simple in the first half. You just want to hop across here as fast as you can. Then in this second portion, if I just let this settle, you can actually jump from one of these to the next one without missing them. It's difficult and it doesn't really lose you much time to do it the safer way, but just to show it's possible, you can just do that. Typically in an actual run, I'll tend to be just like switching, like doing extra switches here, and you don't actually need to drop that last one. You can make the jump straight from the aqua one to there. So I'll do it one more time fast. Just drop the first one. If I can remember which color's which. just quickly across like that. In this room, you want to run across, you want to switch to orange, and you want to be running face first into that so you don't get crushed in by this block here. You'll just get used to knowing where this blue bit is so you can do that. And then you want to push it across so it's on here. You want to switch to aqua so it goes up. Switch to orange so you get across here. Jump over this one. And then this is a weird room. I don't know if there's anywhere in the game this weird interaction happens, but you'll notice that we're on orange and this is not floating. If we... Okay, I'll just put it back. If we booty scooty here, those balloons will float up despite the fact that they're technically phased out. Normally you can get through there without actually getting stuck on it. Then you just push this one across into there. Then you just want to get it onto that plate, come through here, just jump up and grab the key, because you can just make it back again at the end. Then you want to come back across, jump up here, and you can just run to the door from there if I go through the gate. To do it again fast, you come across orange, grab it, jump on top, blue, jump over, do the scooty, get under it. I'm releasing the scooty at the right point there so that I get, so I don't actually run into the blue and it carries some of the momentum of the box over. And then just running to the end. And this one, as soon as you come in here, you want to be switching blue to here, and you want to switch red there. Now, for most of this level, you actually want to be staying on red as often as you can. So you want to go through here and then immediately switch to red. The idea is staying red because these boxes have red balloons on them, and most of the time you want them on the ground. Once you're down here, you want to jump across to here, go up to grab the key, switching red so it drops the boxes down again. Then run across to this side. You want to switch orange. You want to, yeah, you go to orange, and then you want to jump up across here, and then get on the other side of this box before you go red again. So you can push this crate across here, just drop through orange, red, like that. And then you jump back onto this box, and because you've got that box that you placed on the pressure plate there is this gate here, and the key, we go from the other side, and you can go through the door. This is just another hold the direction level. You've got to do a little bit of color changing and jumping, but really it's quite simple. Just when you're color changing, you just tend to change to the color of the last block you jumped off. If you want to do the jumping across ones for the walls, you just go whatever wall's in front of you, obviously. So you finally make it to the end and you can go through this door. Then you're up to Dr. Grey again. You stand here anxiously watching your timer as you just wait for him to walk away. And you just run up to the top of these stairs. Once again, jumping doesn't actually make it faster, it's just fun. And with that, you have completed the yellow segment. So in this video, we covered the blue and yellow segments of the Hue No Sequence Breaks speedrun. In the next, we will be going over the lime segment. Just one this time, because it's got a decent bit in it. Thank you for watching and see you next time.